headphones. Okay, there it goes. I think it's done. So welcome. My name is Eric, and you're watching Modern Day Tech. And today was a very exciting day. We had Amazon Prime Day. Uh-oh, that's why I have music. Hold on, I gotta turn the YouTube feed off. Okay, so Amazon Prime Day was today and tomorrow, and there's some great deals. But also we had the Apple event. And one of the things they announced in the Apple event is the HomePod Mini, which I know I'm super stoked about. And I have some guys here with me that are probably just as stoked for this device, for HomeKit and what it can do for HomeKit. And, you know, I'm excited to bring these guys to you. Let's do a first introduction for Diego.
Cool. Well, again, I am Diego, aka Dial from Dial Home Tech, a YouTube channel where I talk mostly about smart home automation and home technology and things like that. Do some smart reviews as well. So I just want to thanks Eric, thanks all these guys for having me over. Really appreciate the opportunity of being here. Super stoked of being here with you guys today. So thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So next up, we got Chris Young from Homekit Geek. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, everybody. The short version of my intro, if you were reading lips, was I spent too much money on Prime. Really stoked about the HomePod Mini.
Sounds good. And next up, we got Shane.
Hey,
Welcome.
What's going on? Eric, thanks so much for having me, man. And definitely stoked about the HomePod Mini for sure.
I think you've been talking about the HomePod Mini for about a year now.
Longer than that. Y'all just didn't know about it.
Wasn't
That's
this
like
your wish list for back in WWDC?
Yeah, I
This
think
was
it
your
was,
item?
actually. Yeah, it was. That's right.
Yeah, I've been talking about the AirTags, and you've been talking about the HomePod Mini. So
Yep.
the longest time.
That's right.
We got yours first. So during this stream, we're going to talk about what we expected from the HomePod Mini, and what we actually got, and where the HomePod Mini is going in the future. So who wants to take the floor first and tell us what they expected before they actually knew what the HomePod was today? I know, Chris, you thought of something you were telling me yesterday.
Yeah, I made a prediction that based on the price point that was announced, that I didn't think that it was going to be an official home hub. Right, that was the one thing that I was like, at that price point, I think they're going to do an ecosystem play. I think they're going to allow it to do all the good, the H Siri stuff. Hopefully those words are too far enough apart. And I'm happy to say I was wrong. We had to dig into docs a little bit, but it looks that it is a full home hub with the S5 SoC chip in it. It is a powerful little device. I cannot wait to hear how it sounds. So yeah, my first out of the gate, I was wrong.
What did you think the price was going to be?
So the price, I think we all kind of knew it was that $99, right? Was that $99 US? I think that was okay, but it was I missed on the functionality. I thought they were going to do something about it to limit it, to make sure that they could then sell Apple TVs more, sell HomePods more, right? Use this as almost more of a satellite to their existing Home Hub, HomeKit controls.
Right.
Seems a very Apple thing to do to me.
Right.
Or for
That's
me.
what I thought it said too. When you told me, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. So I was quite surprised. Shane, what did you expect before you actually found out?
Honestly, I've been wanting one of these for so long. I try not to have too many expectations and pay too much attention to all the rumors and stuff. So, I go into these things not really having many expectations personally. For that reason, I was kind of pleasantly surprised, I guess. But I think really I was just wanting, and I've really wanted something like this for a long time. Honestly, since the very first HomePod came out, I wanted one of these because I feel like this is really going to be a gateway for many people to get into HomeKit and into smart home. I know there's a lot of people who are, a lot of people have iPhones. A lot of people want a smart speaker, but a lot of people don't want to spend $300 for one.
Right.
So I think this will really kind of get HomeKit as a smart home platform into a lot more homes and really just help grow the platform. So that's one of the main reasons I've really been wanting to see this for a long time.
See, Shane's much nicer than I am. I don't care about it for other people.
Try.
I
It doesn't take much.
I wanted it to be able to start ripping out the Amazon Echo Dots that I have for context room-based controls. Right? I'm not in my own house. I'm not going to spend $350, $400 something. Again, convert Canadian prices, right? So $400 in each of the rooms when I can do the same thing for a $50 device. Right, so for me to be able to upgrade, rip out the Amazon devices, get into full Siri, and have context-aware voice controls, that's huge.
Yeah. Richard, we'll expand on that a little bit. I got a question for all you Alexa and Google users. You guys in the comments too. So stay tuned for more on that. Diego, what did you expect?
I actually had really high expectations, and the reason why I'm saying is it's because Shane hit the nail on the head there when you was talking about the price. That is the thing that has put me off the HomePod for the longest time, because I have a Sonos ecosystem. So for me, it was kind of like, why would I get that? I already have Apple TV, so my HomeKit hub is already there. Why would I get that if I'm getting, really good audio quality from this other device at, a fraction of, not a fraction, but a lot less, right? So I was really expecting something that, number one, for me is probably number one priority, something that has a really good audio output. We're big, huge music listeners here at home. We have, we have an Alexa device pretty much in every room. So for me, it was kind of like I wanted that one device that can really not replace my Sonos, kind of placement around the house, but something that I can add to other places where I don't have it yet, and be, happy about it, be happy with the sound quality while, ripping out, kind of taking advantage of all the other, Apple features that come with this. So I was actually pleasantly surprised because, one, I absolutely loved the look, that it has. I really dig the whole, round look. And then, and then all the technology that they managed to pack in that little thing when it comes to sound. So I'm really looking forward to that. I will definitely be picking up at least a couple of those to, to kind of test it out around the house. And, and I was actually super stoked about the intercom feature that they kind of displayed around. So that was really, really cool. So I was really, really, excited about it, and I really am. So looking forward to picking up some of those guys.
Nice. What did you think the price was going to be before you actually found out?
I was actually thinking it was probably going to be around the $149.99 range. So I was preparing for that $149.99. But when they said 99, I was like, wow, they just got my dollars right there. So
yeah, good stuff. So I want to say hi to some folks in the chat really quick. If you guys want to shout out some of your friends, also I see Neil from Urban Explorer. We have Jason. We have Dustin from my HomeKit Home. He was supposed to join us tonight, but he wasn't able to. And then we have Home Technology Reviews, or Home Tech Reviews. Justin. Then we have Sigmund. And then we have John from HomeKit Authority. Thanks, John, for being here. I know it's like, 2 o'clock in the morning over there in the UK. And we have Zeus, welcome. Scott. Frederick. Welcome, guys. Truly appreciate you guys coming, dropping by. Let's see. Did I get everybody? Paul Peck, Drywall. Drywall legend right there. I think I got everybody. So I appreciate everyone being here truly means a lot. And if you guys don't know, this is actually my first live stream on this channel. So just bear with us or bear with me, and we'll get through this and we'll have some fun. So, but we're going to be talking about the HomePod Mini and what we actually got now. So one of the first things that we got was some, we're going to talk about the audio. So everyone knows that the HomePod OG, I think, personally, it sounds like one of the best speakers out there. So do you guys think that this Mini is going to be okay when it comes to sound? It's not going to be any HomePod, but will it be okay, like they say?
I don't think it's not going to be a HomePod, right? But
Right.
I think if you listen to what they've said around all the custom tweeter and whatever, all the other work from an audio engineering, Apple kind of knows a little bit about sound, right? The whole Beats audio division, I think it's going to sound great. If you look at comparing it to the other players out there, right? Look at an Echo Dot, like the Gen 1, Gen 2. They were this tinny, crappy little, like, they were good to put somewhere, but you would never want to listen to anything on it. What they got from a sound quality out of a Gen 3 was just night and day. Mm-hmm. And Apple, I think, is going to come in and, again, just top that in the Mini category. Like, I think they're really going to nail it. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
Diego?
things that a lot of these smaller devices, a lot of them will say, yeah, we have 360-degree sound and things like that, but it's just quite not there. I mean, I'm no audiophile or anything like that. I just, enjoy music. I'm a musician, and, I have quite a few speakers and headsets and things like that. But when it comes to the 360 audio, some of them fail to deliver a little bit on the immersive kind of, bit. And it's like you have this bass, you have this little bit of fill, but it's not that room filling kind of sound. And that's where, I loved about the HomePod, because I've listened to it, I tried it, but to me it was kind of like the price range. And now with this, and being about a year and a half, 2 years after now, I think that the tech is there. And from what they were describing on the video on the keynote, it looks like that they've got some new stuff in there. So I'm looking forward to see how filling that's going to be, like to like a bedroom size place, and to see if it's really going to bring that immersive kind of feeling to the sound. So really looking forward to that whole 360 sound delivery, and see how it behaves in a smaller setting.
Yeah. Shane?
Yeah, I think you guys are right about all that. The HomePod sounds great. Out like Chris said, Apple is no stranger to audio and music, and the Beats and the AirPods and the technology, and looks like they've developed some stuff specifically for this. So I'm sure it's going to sound probably better than most speakers of its size, I would say.
I think that you nailed it, of its size, right? I think it's going to be probably, it's going to top out at the best in that class. Is it going to be a Sonos One? No, it's not. Is it going to be a Echo Studio? Nope. Is it going to be a HomePod? Nope. Google Max? Nope. Like, none of those. It's not going to compare, just because you can't drive that kind of audio with that smaller form factor. But in its class, in its size, I think if you're wandering around the house with multi-room audio, as you're doing cleaning, mopping floors, whatever it is you do, I think wandering from room to room, it's going to sound amazing.
Yeah, and that leads into my next subject, was multi-room audio. Are you guys planning to buy multiple units so you can do multiple rooms? Do you guys already have other AirPlay 2 speakers that you're going to get whole house surround sound? What are you guys thinking?
For me, it's probably going to be the upstairs. I don't have a lot of the my Sonos is kind of like, I have a few units downstairs, and that's what makes up my my home theater downstairs with like a 5.1. But I am looking to get better audio up here upstairs, which I have like a few Echo devices around around the upstairs. So definitely looking to pick up at least one for my studio here, one for the bedroom, and another one potentially, in the foyer area of the upstairs. So looking to add a little bit more ambient sound kind of feeling to the upstairs area for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Shane?
Yeah, I'm going to be getting probably 2 at least right from the get-go. I want to put one in my studio, probably one in my bedroom also. I think this really appeals to kind of two categories of people: those who are just getting started, and then those people kind of like us, smart home geeks, that want to have a smart speaker in every bedroom, and a lot of us haven't done that yet. I haven't done it yet. I'd love to have a HomePod in every room just for those Siri commands and stuff, but couldn't afford that, So
right.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, it's more about having that Siri, voice assistant available more so than a good speaker. I probably won't even use it that much as a speaker for listening to music,
Yeah, definitely. Chris?
Voice assistant and context. I basically we hit a sale here at IKEA where the bookshelf Sonos came sub $100. So for the rooms that I needed multi-room audio where I wanted music to play, those are already, I've got speakers with Sonos in there. So I've got Airplay 2 or Sonos, whatever I want. But where I'm looking at, one of the problems I had with the HomePod Pro was it was too much bass. So I've got one of those in a bedroom that I'm going to be pulling it out of the bedroom and putting the HomePod Mini in just to get the bass down a little bit so it's not quite so rumbly at night.
Did you just rename the HomePod OG?
Is it called the HomePod Pro now?
HomePod Pro, whatever it is. It's after the Pro. Right?
I like it, yeah.
Sounds about right.
I caught up on that
earlier.
earlier.
The next one. That's what Shane's going to hope for the next year.
Hey, I'm good. I'm content now, man.
No, I'm way more excited, not about the music. Like, it's going to be nice to have it there, to be able to put Airplay 2 everywhere. I'm more excited about the context. Like, that's why I'm super like that. Yeah. That's what it does for me. Voice control, contextual voice control in rooms.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, but I also want that whole house surround sound. So I want that voice control, but I want to be able to play music throughout this whole house and just jam out. So at $99, I can get 5 of these and be okay. And so that's why I'm excited.
I did that with the Sonos, with the IKEA Symphonics bookshelf already. So they already took my $99.
And somebody in the comments here, Kay Jones, looks like made a good point too about being able to hear that doorbell if you have a HomeKit doorbell in every room. I would imagine you'll be able to do that with the HomePod Mini, just like you can with the the bigger HomePods. So that'll be pretty cool.
Hopefully we get the update.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's a great point. Is if you also look at it from an automation standpoint, NFC tags and buttons in specific rooms, being able to play 2 specific HomePods throughout the house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So I can recreate. I created a morning alarm for my oldest boy that he asked me to set him an alarm, so he gets "Never Gonna Give You Up" every morning at 6:30 a.m.
Wow. My daughter would sleep right through that. I want to shout out to my wife, the Princess Zumba Dancer. Hey, baby. Thanks for joining us. So on my first live stream, hope I'm doing okay. And let's see. Any questions so far? Oh, wow. Christina, thank you for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. Thank you. That's the number 1 real estate agent in the world. She's in Louisiana. If you guys need to purchase something in Louisiana, check out Christina Smallhorn. So one of the things that we lost with the HomePod Mini is the home theater. You guys have any comments about that? Any of you guys use that yet?
I will say I don't feel like I lost anything because I haven't seen it work yet.
Okay.
So it's, again, we're kind of into that. Am I going to spend the $300-400 on full HomePods all over the house for home theater? No, I'm not. So if instead what I can do is take the couple of HomePods I've got and replace them with a couple of minis and move my HomePods out to get home theater, I actually like to think that they gave me home theater, because I'm not going to put currently the 2 HomePods I've got where I've got them. I need those for voice control. Right. So I don't feel like I lost anything. I feel like I've gained.
So when you say home theater, are you referring to using them as stereo, or?
I think that's with the Apple TV. So I've never, like you said, I've never seen that work. I just noticed that one of the things that was listed that the HomePod Mini actually lost. So it looks like you said, we didn't lose anything because no one uses it.
Well, I saw that. I know some people that do it. I've never done it either, but I still don't have 2 HomePods. But I did see that you can pair these with you can pair these as a stereo pair also, the HomePod
Which
Minis.
I think is different. So that's different. That's
okay.
like an Airplay type of thing, isn't it?
Oh.
Well, so you could no. So yes, it's Airplay, but it's kind of like the Sonos. You can put 2 of them, pair them together, and then it becomes right-left. So when the stereo channel goes out, you've got a single Airplay 2 target, but they will play as 2 separate streams, right? I don't think we know anything about the theater yet, but if it's theater, that starts me thinking in Dolby 5.0, 5.1, Atmos. Like, who knows where that's going to go? I don't think we have the details yet. If they can pull out, like, is it Dolby 5.1? Does that mean I need 4 HomePods now? I don't know how that's going to go. It's going to be really great to see, though.
Yeah.
Hey, at $99 a pop, you can get 3 for the price of one of the old ones now. So.
Well, but the theater
we can do
thing.
That.
No, the theater thing doesn't happen on the minis.
Right.
Okay.
They were saying there is stereo on the minis, but not theater. So whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't understand clearly.
Because none of us use it. So, like you said, none of us lost it. So, my wife says, "How many doorbells do you have?" She's making fun of me because I got a bunch of doorbells on the front door right now that I'm testing.
I'm still waiting for that good HomeKit one.
Yeah, anything that supports secure video, right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about? I think the other thing so the 2 things that I want to talk about is the context thing. We'll dig into that a little more, but ultra wideband. That's the other thing I am.
I think that's pretty exciting.
That's the future right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think for me, it's not only is it, we'll talk about the automations, but I'm probably the only one excited about AirTags. So I'll talk about that first. But where AirTags come into play with ultra wideband is that you can put an AirTag on anything. And if you have a HomePod Mini in one room, you have a HomePod Mini in the second room, it will be able to tell you what room your AirTag or your device is in. So that's where I'm excited about it. But I know this is about HomeKit, and that just takes it to the next level where you can have automations. So I'm super stoked about that too. Shane, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say right now what this might lead to. I mean, there's maybe some people smarter than me have a good idea, but I think ultimately one day, Apple, they look further down the road than most of us can kind of comprehend sometimes. So I think they have an idea of where this is going and the technology and what it's capable of. So, the ability for automations within your smart home, these devices between your phones that have the chips and the HomePods, being able to tell where somebody is pretty much within the home, what rooms they're in and stuff like that. You can really open a lot of doors when it comes to automations and things like that hopefully we'll see one day.
Yeah, I think they're really setting their ducks in a row, their eggs in a row, because this is where they're planning to go. That's what I see. So fingers crossed.
I think they're going to snap their fingers one day, and they're going to turn on the ultra wideband. They're going to turn on the LiDAR. They're going to turn on all that stuff, and you're suddenly going to see your house become completely contextually aware of who is in what room, what are they potentially doing, what phones are all over the place. I was talking earlier tonight of dreaming of a smart vacuum cleaner with LiDAR and ultra wideband that would map out your entire house, right? From in a 3D space. Like, that's the thing that's crazy, that's the tech that is embedded right now in the Apple Watch, the S6, right? It's embedded in the iPads. The iPad Pro had LiDAR in it. Ultra wideband in just about everything right now. Like, this is they're setting this up. Yeah. This is a end game snap is coming.
Yeah.
Diego?
There's just so much that it's kind of like with where technology is going with VR and and all that stuff, and there's just so much untapped territory there for them, with the ultra wideband, the introduction of hopefully AirTags. I got my fingers crossed here with Eric too. So
yes,
really big fan of that. So there's the potential. I mean, it's literally limitless, and LiDAR brings yet another layer to that, with the, like Chris was saying, like 3D mapping. I don't know, like there's some really cool stuff that they are probably like cooking up, and then once the time is right, we're gonna be like blown away, kind of like something that's like first gen, but it really feels like next gen technology. So really looking forward to that, because they have been delivering some foundations to what seems to be that next gen stuff, with LiDAR, now the ultra wideband, being standard. So really looking forward to that, like with the, the stuff that you're going to be able to do with AirTags and all of those new devices that are coming out. So really looking, forward to the future with them.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff coming down the road, and I can only imagine, like, I'm excited. I'm sitting here just shaking. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Got a question. So from K Jones. So the HomePod Mini does not have AirPlay. From my understanding, it should. It should have AirPlay too.
So yeah, there's a bit of a confusion in the chat on some of the comments we made. Theater versus AirPlay 2. So I think we're solving that out, and Sigmund is doing an awesome job helping us in the chat as well. So thank you, Sigmund.
Thank you, Sigmund. Yep. Let's see if there's any other questions. You guys see any?
Yeah,
thank you.
Asking if intercom is going to work with the original HomePods. I think we touched on that, but I really hope it does. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, I can't think of anything from the top of my head that would prevent that from working. But it just if they're gonna do it Apple Car, it's most likely on the software level. So I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do that with the HomePod OG. So
I gotta point this out because I wish I would have made this comment, but Justin in the comments, new Apple vacuum called the iSuck. Right. He gets props for that. Sorry, Shane.
Nice. Yeah, good one there. No worries, man. Yeah, no, I was just gonna point out, somebody told me earlier today that the beta on the HomePods right now, they're on beta like 14.2 or something, 2 or 3 maybe, and they were seeing the intercom on that beta. So
yeah. I think John from Homekit Geek, he's on that beta also, so I know he's in the comments. Okay. He might be able to.
Yeah, he says right there, intercom will work with the original HomePod. So it should.
What we saw today highly suggested, if not they just said it, is that intercom will work not just on your HomePods, but also you'll be able to do
everywhere
to iPads and iPhones and all of that. Like, I'm really excited to see if I can mess with my kids and just send them the messages remotely. Like, how is that going to work? There's also
it goes to their AirPods too. So there's no.
I saw that, and I would be pissed if I was a kid and like I'd be listening to music and my parents interrupt me. So is there going to be a setting to turn it off? Like, I wouldn't want someone to interrupt me.
I think there's a lot of privacy implications that I can't wait to other stuff implemented.
What if there's another child that triggers that that system, the intercom system, so that then the kid's playing with it?
Is this the bat phone? Right? Is this I push the button, the intercom opens up, and think of the implications when they call you to your bedroom, right? Like, There's a lot of interesting things that I think they have to think through here.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I think they have already, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Dustin from My HomeKit Home brings up a good point. He said, was I the only one that caught the Discovered tab? And that, I don't know if y'all caught that too. That brings us back to the point I was saying, how they're really targeting first-time smart home, consumers, I think. And they're trying to really make it easy for people the way with that Discover tab there, that's going to give you actual products that work with HomeKit, as well as all the possibilities you can do with HomeKit right there in the Home app's going to be a new tab right there. And so yeah, that's a good point there.
And do you guys catch the CarPlay thing too? What do you guys think of that?
I missed that.
Yeah,
so I guess if you're asking, you can ask Siri, hey, what time is Target open till? And then you go in your car on CarPlay, or have directions to Target.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know how much I would use it.
I saw that, and I told my wife I need to get a new car now because I need CarPlay. She wasn't too happy about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're listening, I need a new car too.
Yeah.
All right, I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. And my wife gave me a $4.99 super chat. Thank you for giving YouTube, $3. And then let's see, any other questions?
Let's see.
All right, so I don't see any other questions. So we did confirm that the HomePod Mini will be a smart home hub, which I think, Chris, you talked a little bit about that. So that's super exciting because now the entry point into HomeKit is $99. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll get some people from Alexa and Google over to HomeKit now?
I think we definitely will, because like I said earlier, I think there's people who probably would have went with HomeKit or with Siri initially, maybe years ago, but just the cost was too high. So I think you'll definitely see some of that again, the way Apple is kind of marketing this. They're going to be targeting those kind of first time smart home consumers, and they're just making it extremely easy. In fact, I had a quote written down somewhere where they're making smart home easy. They actually said somewhere where as soon as you kind of connect this thing in your home, it automatically acts as your HomeKit hub, shows up in the Home app. That's where you're going to be controlling this thing, which is also where obviously all of our HomeKit accessories live. So I think that's an exciting thing.
Yeah, I agree with Shane, because up until this point, for you to get on there, I mean, granted you can do it with your iPad and things like that, but I think that the two entry points for people were like either Apple TV or the HomePod, right? And people with like a smart TV, a lot of times, unless they really wanted to get, Apple TV Plus or something like that, kind of didn't see the whole benefit of getting an Apple TV, other than allowing you to use HomeKit, and then the HomePod, the HomePod Pro, and then the HomePod was almost like it's too expensive for a speaker. Why would I want to do that? And unless you really wanted to get one. But now at $99, what Shane said, it's like you make that entry point so affordable and so easily accessible. So people that were a little bit skeptical into getting into HomeKit before, now it's like, oh, it's just $99 and I get a good speaker out of it, and I get all the Apple features that kind of come with it. So to me, it's almost like a no-brainer. I think it's going to bring a lot of people into that realm, and I think that's a very good thing, because with more people, I think that there's probably going to be a lot more support, and I'm really hoping that they succeed a lot more in that realm, because we're here because we love HomeKit, right? And I think that there's a lot more to it. They can do a lot more to that and make it even more robust to really, compete head to head with, Amazon and Google in the smart home space. So,
Definitely. What do you think, Chris? Are we going to get more Alexa users selling their dots?
I think at the price point that Amazon is doing, they're going to continue selling those, right? It's just it's cheap, right?
They're giving them away practically free.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in some cases they are giving them away free. They're mapping them with other devices. But I think, like, if I look back, as the market starts to be more privacy concerned in general, like all the things that we have learned about, pick your doorbell company of choice that once promised HomeKit, but we won't talk about on this, working with police and doing all sorts of nefarious maybe stuff. Right, I think that we're starting to become a more security conscious of what we put in our houses. And if I look back at where 4 or 5 years ago, whatever, when I started in a HomeKit and looked at the price of that, like, come on, the Fubaro flood sensor is more than the whole HomePod Mini. Like, put that in context, right? You can get a $65 Aqara G2H cam with $20-$25. Like, you could build out your entire HomeKit home with a pretty great setup, a couple of VocalLink light strips. You could do that all for maybe $300. Yeah. Like, you could actually get a workable, multi-featured smart home for about the $300 range, fairly easily. Like, you couldn't even get a HomePod for $300 a couple of years ago. So I think this is going to drive a lot of people into HomeKit. But I think that Apple needs to do a lot on the native home app. I think they need to make some of those things easier. I think they need to not do this step, like the HomePod is still, the actual HomePod for public users, non-beta users, is still running iOS 13. Right? How long is iOS 14? So it's been like a month or two. What happens when my HomePod becomes the home hub? There's still things like, let's not all, we're all on the Apple bandwagon, but there's still things I think they need to address.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of, I guess, my hope too, is in them putting this kind of focus on the home. I mean, they started off the iPhone keynote essentially today talking about the home and the smart home with this. So my hope is that them putting this kind of focus, and again, them trying to market this and get people into HomeKit, they will hopefully put even more resources and stuff into kind of developing and furthering, the HomeKit as a platform along. That's just my wishful thinking, I guess, but, Yeah.
I would have liked to see the price point at around $79 just to get more people into HomeKit. So maybe, hopefully, once the the initial sale happens, they have a couple sales and get more people in there. So
yeah,
I think that it's within the Apple tax range that people would expect to pay. You're always going to pay a little bit more for that Apple tax, right? So I think it's okay.
Yeah, at $79, still more expensive.
Yep. Yeah, and I think one of the things I really liked, and I know it's not related to the device in itself, but Shane was saying it is, it was an iPhone kind of keynote, and then we started out with the home stuff. How about that studio that they built to just, talk about the home stuff with the different rooms? And that was really
the garage,
cool. I mean,
the car.
You know that these guys are thinking about this. They really want to show like the day-to-day life, like the real life, functionality of this thing. So this is if it's somebody from the outside looking at this, they're going in, really pointing into the right direction. So I'm really hoping that they can continue to do that. That was really cool. I love the studio, the rooms, and how they were showing like the day-to-day, life inside of the house. So that was really cool.
Like a real family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love the little intercom, so it's pretty cool.
I like when on the.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say.
Go ahead, Shane.
Go, Shane.
I was going to say, it was funny. You made me think on the intercom when the dad used the intercom and the kid was on their AirPods, and she said, "I'm putting on my coat," and she didn't move. That was very, very lifelike. I can see my kids doing that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I was just like, oh man, that's awesome. That shot when they were in the house and then they pulled out onto the stage, like that they built an entire house, like just I was like, wow, the showmanship was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
And that was not cheap to do a stage like that.
No.
So they're investing a lot of money into it.
Cheaper than flying in all of those reporters, though.
Yeah, that is true.
That's the new world we're in. There is one question which I thought was interesting from Sigmund. Where do you want the wideband, ultra wideband integration to go, and how fast? What do you see the issues being in regards to multiple people and automation based on localization, spatial computing? Where do you guys want the wideband to go?
I think we touched a little bit on that. For me, it's the AirTags, but it's also like I want to be able to know, if someone walks into a room, maybe I want, the light to be at a certain brightness, and if someone else walks into the room, it's going to be at different brightness. So for me, that's where I like.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Eric. That kind of level of customization to trigger virtually like tailored automations to everybody that's in the house. Like they're already if you saw one of the features, like how the Pod Mini recognizes the voice of the person speaking to it, that was really cool. How one person can talk to it and another person talks to it, and you get a different response based on the profile. So I think that level of customization, that level of personification to the smart home is really cool. And if we can get there and do that, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, same here. I agree with that. I think they've got some plans that maybe we haven't even comprehended yet. Apple glasses may come into play with all this technology also, who knows. But I think they definitely, like you said earlier, Eric, I think they've got the long game in mind here with what they're doing. I'm just not sure what that is.
Yeah, I can only imagine the things that we're thinking of and what the possibilities that they are thinking, because I know we have creative minds but these are the pros. These are the experts, so I can only imagine what they're going to come up with. So,
yeah,
I hope
Chris?
they think through the use cases. I've looked at a couple of presence-based, context-based solutions, and there's a whole bunch of what happens if I'm a room owner? Like, so is there a priority? Like, what's privilege level? Who owns a room? If Diego is watching TV and I walk through the room, does it take there's all of these challenges I think that they're going to have to work out. And I'm glad that the rollout of the tech is slow. And I'm blissfully hoping, optimistically, that somewhere some Apple executive is having to run betas of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I'm Canadian. I'm optimistic, right? But I hope they're trying to work through these things in real environments, so that they can start to figure out some of these challenges. Like, do you want, if there are 3 people in the room, and I'm the room owner, like that's where I think some of this stuff gets interesting, right?
Yeah.
How much do you want the automation to go?
Right.
And what could trigger it? Is it someone's phone? Is it someone's watch? Is it someone's AirPods? What happens if someone walks in the room and doesn't have any of those?
Then you use the video feed from your HomeKit secure video cameras with facial recognition to say, that's Shane, do the thing.
There you go.
That's
the next level right there.
Yeah, somebody was talking about a couple of people are talking about the routines that they mentioned in there, like I can't remember what she said, but it was like her daily breakdown in the keynote. Y'all remember that? And they got like the weather, calendar events, reminders, and stuff like that.
Right.
Let's see. Kyle mentioned the morning breakdown when the mom walked into the kitchen. Curious as how that interface is going to look. That's a good point, because right now you do have to make like shortcuts to do something like that, which probably most of us have done. And it's doable, but it's definitely not as intuitive as it could be for kind of early adopters. So hopefully it looks like they're making that a little bit easier. I'm not sure how that's going to look either, though. That would be interesting to see. What do y'all think?
I think that's one of the areas, right, that Apple needs to invest. I think Chris just briefly touched on a revamp of the Home app, right? Like, there's if you use, I know some of you guys use Alexa devices. I that's my kind of mainstream voice assistant here at home. So I use the Alexa app a lot, and that app is just so intuitive. It's just grown so much. It has grown so much over the last year and a half with the new updates that it's easy. I mean, now you can literally create a routine without even going to the app. You can just literally say, hey, Echo, do this when I say this, and the routine is created right there on the fly, right? You don't even have to go to the app anymore to just create those things. So I think that these are some of the things that where I see Apple having to play a little bit of catch up. So investing on on the app, and then making it the whole routine, the whole kind of recipe, if you think of that way too, a little bit more accessible and intuitive for the entry-level user, because I think that's where it's a little bit of a it's not as user-friendly as it could be, and I think that now they're going to be getting, I mean, we talked about going to be getting a lot more people getting into the HomeKit realm. I think making it a lot more accessible and easy to use is going to be key for them. So they cannot drop the ball right now. They have to think about those things and kind of go with it.
Yeah.
I think Shortcuts has been the way that they test out all their wild and crazy ideas on the wild and crazy advanced users who are doing insane stuff for years, right? And I think that if we're all good internet citizens and contributed app analytics, that's been going back to the mothership, and I think they will do what they usually do. They will leave the bleeding edge to the nerds, and then they will distill that down to something really simple.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll be in one camp or the other, right? But there's usually, in my experience with Apple, it's a really simple, great experience, unless you want to go on the edge, in which case you might be coding.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we're at the point where Shortcuts is going to take that jump over the edge, and it's going to get really easy. And we're already seeing that with iOS 14 with suggested automations, right? When you now bring that up, like just add a new device and click the button. Yeah, make it so the light turns on when you add a motion sensor. Like that's.
Yeah.
There's even stuff I don't know if I've seen it yet, but things like that you may have had to go onto a third-party app, but now it's doable within the home. Like it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's gonna be awesome. Good things, all good things, all good things.
Yeah. I think you're right. You have the simple thing that you have the home app where you can just have the normal everyday people turn on a light, hit the switch and be done. Where then you can have Shortcuts, you have the Home Plus 4 app, you have the Eve app, you can do a lot more customizations, and I think that's definitely, they're going to keep up with that. So I think you're right. Let's see, I had a question in here. Is the HomePod Mini wireless? Can you charge and bring outside without cord? So it is wired. So I know the Echo Dot, you can have a battery, but I'm not sure if third-party manufacturers are going to make something like that for the HomePod Mini, but that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Did anyone see the power interface on it? Is it like a USB-C, or is it?
No.
Is it like the embedded cord on the HomePod?
I don't think
I don't recall.
I saw the wire, but
yeah.
But that's a good question.
Yeah, of course, everything you see online doesn't show any cords at all. So I don't know.
So
that wire management, though, it's on point.
I know, right?
Yeah. I think if there was a battery, it'd be much, much bigger. So it's too small.
One in here I'm going to cherry pick from Dennis is, would it be funny if Mini included a Zigbee hub?
Yeah.
I'll say it. I actually would not be surprised if that's something they didn't tell us. That would not surprise me at all if that's embedded in there with the work they're doing on chip. Yeah, well, if you look at the chip from a protocol and what Apple's been doing.
I think that's too soon, though.
It's too soon to talk about it today.
Okay.
Hardware cycles, though, it's not too soon to put a 802.3.15.4 radio in there, which is the Zigbee radio, which is what Chip is going to use. Right?
So you're going to break one open?
They hide things. For $99, hey, I don't know if I could identify a Zigbee chip, but for $99, I'm sure someone will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, any other questions? I think that's it. Yeah, I think we hit everything. You guys have any things you guys want to talk about? We're coming up on an hour right now. So I went by fast. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for all joining me on my first live stream on Modern Day Tech. This is thank you to all my super chatters, Christina and my wife. It means a lot. And I think we had 42 people was the highest I saw. So thank you to all the 42 people that came through. Truly appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll definitely do this again real soon. And if you have any questions, we're always available on our YouTube channels. Shane Watley. We got HomeKit Geek, Chris Young, and Diego, Dial Home Tech.
Hiding behind the comments, apparently. They don't know what my face looks like because the comments have been over top of me the whole stream.
I'll work on that for next time.
My HomeKit Ninja, is that what that is now? Incognito?
Hold on. Let me take that down so people can actually see you. How the hell
don't do that to them.
Do this. There he is. All right, good look at him. All right, guys. Good night.
Hey, thanks a lot for having us, man. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you for everybody for joining. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Man. Great job.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Good being here with you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, how do I end this thing? Oh, here we go.